Stop. Consider yourself warned. You are about to enter into a place that is not for the faint of heart. It is a place that is rooted in faith and reason. So if you are up for the challenge and are ready to do some spiritual spelunking, you are welcome to try. Welcome to Pat King's Man Cave.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Pat King's Man Cave. This is Pat King, your host, and I have a good friend from across the... Well, you're not across the sea, you're across the lands. You're on the other side of the world. No, the other side.
What is
of
it, Pat? Two mountain ranges? Two mountain ranges between us?
Well, is it all flat between the Rockies and you, or?
Pretty much, I think. And compared to the Rockies, the Appalachians are pretty flat. So
yeah, okay.
We'll just...
Yeah, I actually, one time I was a waiter waiting tables in a restaurant in Palm Springs, Palm Desert, California, and a couple were from the East Coast, and we were talking at the I think it was lunchtime, so we were talking a little more casual. And I said, "Where are you from?" I said, "Well, from the East Coast, from New Jersey." And I said, "Oh, well, welcome to California, welcome to Palm Springs." And they asked me where I was from, and I said, I'm from Twin Falls, Idaho, Boise, Idaho area. And they go, "Oh, you've got real mountains in Idaho." And I'd never been on the East Coast before. And I said, "So what do you got out there?" "Oh, we got hills. We got, bunny hills, but you guys have real mountains." And I never really considered that not everybody has the kind of mountains we have out west. And it was fascinating. So yeah, I think in Idaho alone, there's 6 or 7 mountains that are over 10,000 feet, and one is 12. The highest peak is Mount Bora, and it's 12,500, something like that. People climb it all the time. They go all the way to the top. So
I do think Mount Washington might be a little bit colder than that.
Where's Mount Washington?
I think it's in New Hampshire.
Oh.
Yeah.
A little bit colder?
So, it is cold up there.
Well, yeah.
I think it's because of the wind.
That's because it's near Canada, and Canada's cold. And the wind.
Cold.
It's cold.
It's very cold.
Actually, we have one of the coldest spots in the nation almost all the time, even colder in Alaska a lot of times. Stanley, Idaho. Look it up. It has some of the coldest overnight temperatures. It's unbelievable.
Is that up by the part of Idaho
it's central,
that
central
Idaho?
Canada? No, not the Panhandle. You got the Panhandle. It comes down and gets that main body of the state of Idaho. It's kind of in the center part, a little bit north of the central part of the state, but it's gorgeous up there. It's stunning. The waters are blue and crystal clear. It's cold. The winters are very long there. And but if you're tired of the desert heat, what? Yeah,
I would love to come out and speak at any place in Idaho. So
joining me is my friend David Fortin, and David, I hear tell that you have a new So I guess that's where I was going. You're going to be doing a project. I see you got an Irish shirt on. Are you Irish?
I do.
Are you
a little bit? My grandmother was a Downey, so yes.
I'm a little bit Irish too.
Well, 25%. I'm proud of my Irish heritage. Yeah, I'm proud of my Irish heritage. My wife says that I'm Italian by association. So,
I'm a mixed breed. I'm Italian. I'm 25% Italian, German, and Irish, and the other 25%, no one knows anything about it.
Well, it's the Italians that give you your good looks there, Pat.
Yeah, and the Irish that gives me my silliness.
Exactly. That's where you get your sense of humor.
Yeah. And the German is where I get my sturdiness. I'm a sturdy breed.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's wearing an Irish shirt, and I don't know if it's on purpose or not, but you've got a thing going on here coming up across the pond, all the way over to Ireland. This is the one with
my good friend, Father Gabriel Burke, who's been a guest on my show. Maybe 3-4 times now, but Father Gabriel Burke is going to be doing a show for Spirit of Truth Radio Arts, which is my new project that I'm working on. I'm helping give voice to those that have a voice.
So it's for your radio station, not the Irish radio station.
No, it's something we're going to have on my website, which is going to be at www.castingthe.net. But what it is there's a lot of great Irish folks that have made great contributions to the Catholic faith, and Father Burke is going to be telling their stories. It's called Forgotten Treasures, and
Okay.
it's
Cool.
I think we're going to be starting out with Nano Nago. You're not going to hear me, so that's a good thing.
Oh yeah, thank you. Whew.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to limit how much you talk on my podcast just because, I want people to stick around and listen. So,
well, yeah, you'll have that. But thank you, Pat, thank you for bringing that up.
So let me.
Father Brooks a great guy.
Okay, so now say that again. It's going to be something. What treasures? It's
Forgotten Treasures. What it is?
Now, is that the website, or is that just the name of the show that you're calling?
That's the name of the show. You can go to www.castingthe.net. If you go there right now.
Wait. I know you know your website.
Yeah.
Okay. But I've actually had to ask you to repeat this and write it down for me several times. So I'm sure that there's a lot of people out there that are probably smarter than me.
Yeah.
But you say it so fast because look, I know my kids' names. If I say them real fast, you're going to go, what? So
it's a play on words. Okay.
Okay. But say it slowly.
www.
Okay. We got that part.
Casting the.
Casting the
dot net.
So casting the is one word.
Yep. Dot net. So it's
net.
Yeah. Okay. So it's just a play on words. Casting the .net.
Okay. I think I actually finally have it because it's casting the net dot and it's like I
casting
get it.
The
casting
net.
the .net. Okay. We just wasted 6 minutes on your promo, so that's why I love Dave. He'll mess me up just to say, just because he can. So
absolutely,
today's show is podcast is all about patriotism. I wanted to get this out. I was hoping to have another guest that was better than Dave, but I'm stuck with Dave. So
he actually is. I know the guy that you were talking to.
See, he even admits that he was like, okay, I'll do it. Like I wanted to do it with someone. Because I wanted also their point of view of what So our topic is going to be patriotism, and we're coming up on the 4th of July, and it's something that's near and dear to my heart. I've always been very, very patriotic. Any good rendition of the national anthem. Oh my gosh, I well up in tears. I sing it at every ball game because I don't care who hears me. If I'm going to yell and scream for a team, I'm going to yell and scream for my country. But I've got him on because I want to hear what he thinks about what it means to him. But I'm going to read a definition, a couple different ones here. Patriotism. It's a noun. Love of and devotion to one's country. Love of one's country, the passion which moves a person to serve his country, either in defending it from invasion or in protecting its rights and maintaining its laws and institutions. Love of country embodied or personified patriots collectively. Let's see if there's another one here. They've got so patriotism and nationalism are two different things, and that's kind of it's being patriotic or being a patriot has almost become a dirty word. They like to infuse nationalism as the same thing, and nationalism is not. Nationalism is what Nazis became, the nationalist party, which was everybody was unto one. Well, if you know what Nazis are, I don't want to go into explain Nazis. I don't want to spend any time on Nazis because it was a bad deal. But he sold everybody a bill of goods that you had to nationalize ourselves as one race, blonde hair, blue eye. But they wanted to kill Down syndrome kids and birth defect kids and Jews, and they didn't want to just stop with the Jews. They went after everybody. They wanted to purify their rate their country on a national level. That's not patriotism. It's nowhere near patriotism. It's always bad. Nationalists like that is always bad, in my opinion. So patriotism is the feeling and expression of love for one's country, along with feeling the unity with those who share those feelings. Though it shares patriotism's love of country, nationalism is the belief that one's home country is superior to all others. And that's what I wanted to get across. So that we are a great country, but we don't think we're superior to other. They have their own. Canada has their own country. Let them worship and honor their own. Let them be patriots in their own country. We're patriots for our country, and we want to protect and serve and live because we have chosen to, whether we were born here or not. When you're born here, you're a citizen, but you have that choice to leave and go find another country. And when they do, they're called expatriates. I know a lot of people that have moved to Italy or Brazil or other countries because weather, whatever reason they left, they were more suited for that country, and they have not denounced their citizenship, but they've chosen to live their lives in those countries, and that's fine. I will probably live. Now, I love Italy. I've got family there. I don't mind going there and spending 3 months every couple years, but this will always be my home. And I literally choke up every time I hear the national anthem, especially if you get young kids that sing it so well. It just brings tears to my eyes. So we'll get into more of what it means to me, but Dave, what does it mean to you? What is patriotism to you? And do you see it every day? I mean, how do you live that part of your life?
That's a really, really great question, Pat.
I know. That's why I asked
it. Okay. I don't know if I see it every day, because I believe that patriotism really is service to our country, service to each other. I don't see a lot of service. I see a lot of people that believe that they're entitled to the benefits of a free country, but not willing to put their themselves out there to serve what a free country needs to be.
Yeah. Well, you live in what we would call out here a blue state.
Oh, it's so blue. It's as blue as your shirt.
Yeah.
Bluer.
Yeah. Your politics are blue. Your I don't know how your House and Senate are made up. Your legislative body for the state of Connecticut. He's in Connecticut, by the way, but even your governor's a blue, liberal blue, and you guys are taxed to death, and they give it away, and are you guys a sanctuary state as well as?
You know what? I wouldn't doubt if we were, because, like you say, Pat, we're true blue. We are true blue. This is we are in a state that is, when Roe v. Wade was overturned, the first thing out of any politician's mouth was, we're going to stay for women's, reproductive rights. Okay, call it that,
Yeah,
but that's not what that's not what it is,
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not what it is. So to be quite honest with you, yeah, we are a blue state that, in Connecticut, if you are have any kind of beliefs in the right to life, then don't even bother voting, because your vote doesn't get heard.
Well, let me ask you, do you see when you drive around? Now, I know your business, you're out in the field, you're a surveyor, and so you're out, you're all over the place. And you actually were out of state the other day, or is that coming up? Did you already do the out of state?
I'm so close to the Massachusetts border that, we
do a lot of, okay, so you're across the border lines all the time. So you guys have small states. It's close. But do you see a lot of United States flags flying, or do you see more pride flags, or do you see more I live in a place. Okay, just so you know, I have my own flag on a 25-foot pole flying all the time. I had 2 flags on it, and one windstorm came and bent the out of my flag, out of my pole. Finally, just the other day, was able to get the remaining stem out of my flagpole holder, and I have to redo it. And either I've got to find a better flag. The winds out here are just way too strong. I get 60, 70, 80-mile winds, and they just fold my poles over. So I'm going to I may have to build one out of well stem, because that's really thick. It may flop around a little bit, but it's not going to bend and snap. I mean, these literally bent them till the flag is laying on the ground. Wow. And, but I mean, I can go down any country road where I live. I live on country roads, farmland and dairies, and very few houses, but almost everywhere, every road I go down, I'll see almost every house has a U.S. flag.
Yep. My house has an American flag on it. My house has an American flag. My neighbor has an American flag, but he also has one of the blacked out with the blue stripe on it. And to be quite honest with you,
the blue line flag.
The blue line flag.
It supports police.
You know what? I wish they would come up with a different symbol other than the American flag and blacken that out. I'm a veteran, and
no, I get it. It's controversial.
It is controversial, and the same with the firefighters. My grandfather was a firefighter. Okay, so I love the firemen. I support the police. I know they have a tough job, but the American flag is the American flag, and it shouldn't be, changed,
altered in any way.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and I agree. I bought one of those blue line flags, but it was a thin one, so it didn't last very long on our winds out here, which is fine. I bought it in support of, because it was a fundraiser for the police and stuff like that, and I bought a flag but you're right. I agree. I think they should come up with a better flag that doesn't alter our grand old flag.
Yeah, we're a one nation under God.
Yeah,
indivisible.
Agreed. So, I guess I've really never looked up how it came about, but I'd like to know the meaning, who created that, who came up with that, and what it all stands for. I understand the blue line flag is support of police, and then is there a different color for firefighters or something, or
yeah, their stripe is red, and I think military is green. So I mean, It's great to support these organizations. And Pat, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about that going forward, but we'll continue with your question.
No, we can do that. So yeah, go ahead. What was
you down here in Connecticut, you will see pride flags, you will see the United States flag, you'll see a lot of flags. You'll see a lot of Trump 2024 flags.
I see a lot of that here too.
Yeah. But, you see a lot of younger guys, which is really strange, but you'll see a lot of younger guys flying these flags from their pickup trucks. And again,
a United States flag or a pride flag?
No, you'll see. Yeah, you'll see.
Yeah, we get a lot. We get a lot of that out here too. Yeah. Where they've got them in their post holes in there.
You don't see a lot of Confederate flags anymore, which is
well, I think they're ignorant because they don't know the meaning behind it. But and I'll just say, a lot of times what'll happen is it'll take a generation to be flushed down the toilet, not in just the mindset. And you'll see some of that stuff coming back because those were ingrained in far deeper history than just a fad. I really think, quite honestly, this pride stuff is more of a fad. Just like I think a lot why, like I saw an interview with Michael Knowles, and he's a devout Catholic, just like Matt Walsh is, and Michael Knowles was interviewing someone, and he was going to do a speaking engagement at a university, and they were protesting him outside, and his producer went out and started asking questions of people, and this woman says, 3 out of 4 of my children are trans. And then the one that was hanging back behind him her said, now 4, Finn has gone trans now. It's like, okay, I've got 4 children, and all 4 of my children are heterosexual. And why? Because we brought them up in the faith. We brought them up understanding who they are, that you're a girl, okay, you're a tougher girl than most, but you're a girl. And now my daughter's getting married to a guy, but she was built kind of more like me. She was strong. She was athletic. She played softball and basketball and volleyball, and she had great strength. Okay. Hey, you know what? I don't think at my age I'd want to mess with her. But as she's gotten, and she was never a tomboy. She was always a girl. She never questioned it. But all I'm saying is that when she was younger playing sports, she played tough like a boy, aggressive, assertive, and yet, never once questioned who she, because we never let her doubt that she was anything but who she was born, Right. And so you come out to you really should come out to visit Idaho, because you'll sit there and going, because Idaho is a very red state. 85% of our legislation, our state house, and is a Republican. Not as conservative as I would like, but they're Republican. But that's either here nor there. But even though we're still now you go to the city of Boise and Sun Valley, you'll find a very liberal blue mentality in the flags they display and all that stuff in the cities, because they're populated, or Sun Valley's a Hollywood haven for celebrities. Okay, we got a lot of Hollywood elite up there and big money people, and I don't know why that equates to that, but they tend to be. But you'll find almost every farmer out here where I live has a United States flag, and lit at night. They're up and all the time up lit. And I feel bad that mine's not up, because I had to, once it broke, I couldn't get that stupid thing out. It took time to cut that out because it was wedged in tight. And I'm self-employed. I had to get to work, and so, but now I'm going to order a new pole. One I want to get's like $300, but it's not supposed to break. It's guaranteed. I don't know if it's lifetime, but it's supposed to handle 2 flags, no problem. And
there you go.
So, but patriotism to me is I love my country. Yeah. Even as bad it is right now, even as what's going on, the open borders and going on, that's government mess up. That's government melees. That's the people in power, people in office that are screwing that part of it. It doesn't have anything to do with living in. I love Idaho. I'm very supportive and patriotic of Idaho. I'm very patriotic of my country, and I would never want the state of Idaho to fall. I would never want my United States government, the 48 states and the 2 outside the borders. I wouldn't want that to become a one world government. I wouldn't want to become a country with Canada and Mexico and not have any differences, because I think we are uniquely different. We have things that make us so much more uniquely different, that we have freedom of religion. We have look at how diverse the people in our country are, and how anybody can come over from anywhere and succeed if they just want that bad enough. I mean, I'm one of 7 kids to a single mom whose father did not help out financially at all. I didn't go to college. I didn't take out loans or anything like that. And yet I've made millions of dollars in my life. Millions. I did $1 million a year mowing lawns with the crew I had. Now, I had a lot of crews, so I paid it all out. But the point is, I started with nothing. I bought my first lawnmower and started mowing lawns when I was Oh, crud. How old was I? 20, 24, 25. Actually, my first lawnmower was given to me because I didn't want to mow lawns because it was beneath me. You know, I mowed my mom's lawn all my youth, but she had one of those real mowers you had to push, and we had a third of an acre, and it was a bumpy lawn. Oh, I hated mowing lawns.
It was a one powered lawnmower.
It was a one Pat powered, yes. It was, yeah. And one Pat powered pooped out a lot. He became a pooped out Pat Power. So, but the thing is that I put in sprinklers. I did this guy's yard. I got it all landscaped for him, spent lots of money with me. And he tells me, he goes, I need you to start mowing lawn. I said, no, I don't mow lawns. I do landscapes. I do sprinklers. He goes, no, you're going to mow the lawn. I said, no, I'm not. He says, I just spent a ton of money with you, and I'm not letting my 14-year-old son mess it up. So you're going to take care of it. Well, he had a car dealership, and I did that too. And I maintained. He goes, I'll tell you what, I'll buy you all the equipment, and I'll still pay you to mow my lawn every week, and I'll give you the car dealership to mow. I'm looking at him going like, oh, wow, that's a lot of money every week. I only have to put in so many hours to make that kind of money. And let me tell you, when construction slows down, so does landscapes, so does new projects. So maintenance is one thing that people, especially commercially, want and need done every week. And let me tell you that having that steady income was kind of nice. So
sure,
I got into mowing lawns, and I started basically with nothing. And before I knew it, this is in California. And then when I sold my business and sold my accounts and I moved up to Idaho, I thought I'll go get a job and I'll make some money. Well, to make even close to the money I made as a self-employed maintenance lawn mowing guy, I had to work 2 45-hour-week jobs. So I decided, okay, I'm tired after 6 months of doing that, 90 hours a week. Oh my goodness, that was a lot of, wasn't sleeping very much. So I went back out, started mowing lawns again. And I still kept a job on the side, and I mowed lawns until all of a sudden I was making more money mowing lawns than I could on either job. And the jobs were actually interfering with my opportunity to make more money. So those slowly went away, and I grew my business to the point where I was doing $1 million plus a year. And I'm going, how did I do that? Well, of course, now I give all the credit to God. I try to take it's all my doing, my hard work. I know I was grateful to God, but I sure look at it differently now than I did back then. I was a faithful guy, and I gave credit to God, but it was all my work, my effort, my hustle. But today I would look at it as, no, it was all because God was blessing me beyond my wildest imagination or ability, undeservedly, but he blessed me anyway. And it humbled me quite a bit more. But that's what this country means to me, is that a poor guy without many opportunities, without any education, can rise to the ranks. I mean, I put my kids through private Christian school. My wife was able to stay home with our medically fragile, handicapped child, and I was able to provide. We bought a house. I bought her a car, bought her a nice van for our kid who's handicapped, and it was able to keep her home. And how was I able to do that with no education? It's because this country is that great of a country. The opportunities are fantastic here.
Yeah, Pat. I honestly, yeah, what you're saying is what I believe, that there is equal justice for all, but there should be equal opportunity for all in this country, and that's what makes our country so great. Just stop looking beyond. I mean, everybody's got obstacles in their way. Everybody.
Right. Exactly.
It wasn't easy for you to overcome, the obstacles that were in your life to make you the man that you were. Same with me. I mean, I tried starting a business. I tried running a business. It wasn't for me. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm fortunate to work for a good company that takes good care of me, and that's where I am. But
Not everybody's meant to own their own business.
No,
you know, and that's not a put down. It's some people, it takes a lot of faith. It takes a lot of overcoming and a lot of ability to stick your nose in someone else's face sometimes and say, I want the job. I need the work,
Mm-hmm.
and some people, but that's what makes this country great. You can still succeed with you don't have to own your own business. There's opportunity, but that's the nice thing about it. You work for a company that's a privately held company, right?
Right.
Okay. I privately owned my own company, but I employed people, and without that, I had 20. I would never have succeeded without employees. So business owners still need employees to do the work. Right now, I'm the only employee, so it's all on me. If I ever get hurt, there goes my income. So, but it's still, that's what makes this country great. And I don't want the government to do things for me that I can do.
No.
And I think that makes a beautiful country. So what do you say to people that are, kind of anti-USA or anti-America, or, think you're foolish for being patriotic? What do you say? I mean, have you ever run across that?
Yeah, I have. It's hard to say, well, then, where do you want to go?
What's better? What's better?
Yeah, exactly. What's better than this? Because I mean, you can look at like Italy, you can look at, Europe, and there are some, honestly, looks like some serious benefits to living there. But, my friend, Father Gabriel Burke has said that Ireland is like one of the most expensive countries to live in Europe.
Really?
Yeah, it's very expensive to live there. I mean, they have a lot of services that are given to them, but so
it's expensive because the taxes are high to pay for all those freebies.
But he's also said to me, he says, you Yanks in America, you have the freedom to do a lot more stuff than we do here.
What kind of?
Well, one of the things was we were discussing was just the ability to do radio and stuff like that. There's like a whole big to do over in Europe as far as like establishing radio. Driver's licenses are much harder to get in Europe than they are here in the United States.
Really?
Yeah. So there are there's a lot of freedoms that we have here as Americans.
And that's exactly. So I've traveled. I've been in Cairo, Egypt. I've been in Amsterdam. I've been in Italy a couple times. I've been in Mexico. I've been in Canada.
All the trouble spots.
All the trouble spots. The trouble arrived shortly after I was there. Yeah. So, let's see. Anything else? I've been in Israel, but not only for a day, and Greek islands for a couple, for a day. But what I spent 2 months in Italy. I spent 14 days in Cairo, and I spent just a day in Amsterdam. But wow, the things they allow, the legalized drugs and stuff in Amsterdam and all that, it's daunting what you see and how you see people that are on drugs just living on the street and urinating and defecating in the street. And it's like, why do they want this to happen? Why do they think this is okay? People are free. I mean, our country's free. You can do that, but we also have responsibility. We have dedication, duty. That's not proper. We have standards, and to do that, I mean, that's why San Francisco, which is one of the most beautiful cities in the world, I've been there several times and I loved it, but I wouldn't go there today because it would stink. My pigs don't stink nearly as bad as I was told that San Francisco streets smell. That's sad. That is really sad.
San Francisco was always known as like just such a beautiful place, and because it's a sanctuary. Because it's a sanctuary.
because they're afraid to set standards and have people live up to those standards. You dumb the standards down. But so that's what I was getting at by telling you the different countries I've been. I've been there long enough. I've checked them out, and I've seen by traveling around those cities, those countries, that people, if they complain about America, they wouldn't be better off going there. They would hate. You wonder why they don't leave. If they hate America so much, why don't they leave to Canada? I hear this all the time. If Trump gets elected, I'm leaving to Canada. Oh, why? Okay, he got elected. Why didn't you leave? I got a movie or something. They're all bluster. But so you need to challenge people. Say, you know what? I think I can come up with enough money to send you to Cairo or Egypt or whatever country, Venezuela. Whatever country you think is a better place to live, I'll send you there. And one-way ticket, you never have to come back.
Well, they think they're going to end up in Martha's Vineyard, but when we send the immigrants here to Martha's Vineyard, they get all crazy about that.
They did. So it's funny. I wonder why people don't leave. I actually told a Catholic that was on this blog post, and he was complaining that the Catholic Church hasn't come into the 21st century. And actually, I did a podcast on why the Catholic Church, why Jesus isn't a 21st century guy. He's an every century guy. He doesn't, his culture doesn't change to the culture of the people, of the whim of the people. He set the standard for the culture. He is the standard bearer. And I tell people all the time, I told this guy, I said, well, I tell you what, instead of trying to argue and say you're a Catholic and want to change it to what you want, there are 33,000 other churches out there I'm sure will fit your liking and your mold. Quit trying to change my church. Go find one that's better suited for you. Please leave the Catholic Church. Why? You're asking a Catholic to leave the church? I thought the Catholic Church wants to bring everybody into the church. Yeah, no. Christ said, go and sin no more. He didn't ask you to go and change the better place, to where you, and that's what's happening. People out there changing their cities and their towns, like Connecticut used to be one of the more patriotic states in the country.
It's the Constitution state.
Yes. And look at where you're at now. That's what happens when they become educated and intelligent and woke and all that. Yale's not doing New Haven very good.
Well, New Haven it's a rough city.
Well, so we're running out of time. We're at 37 minutes, and we wasted 6 minutes promoting your podcast. Is it a podcast?
And my website.
Is it a podcast or is it okay? It's a podcast.
It's going to be a podcast. It's
an audio podcast. Okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be on your website, and that is castingthe.net.
Yeah.
Right. I got
it, Patrick.
I can do the seal clap. Yay. Okay. Well, I want to thank my friend for coming on and talking patriotism with me. Don't
forget the 4th degree of the Knights of Columbus. It is the patriotic order.
Well, actually, that was one of the things. It's so the 4th degree Knights. That is their 4th degree is their motto is a patriotism, and they have the color guard.
Without going into any of the details of the 4th degree exemplification, it's a great. It's just a wonderful
aspect of the night.
It is, but just the exemplification is a great schooling into how much Catholics have really, really affected American way of life.
Well, that's true. The Catholic Church has been very integral, even though
from the beginning.
They're very integral into the development of our country, even though most states didn't allow them to vote or hold office or own property. In some states, they were not liked at all. In fact, a lot of people hated them, and yet they still continue to thrive and grow. And I think the Catholic Church is the largest Christian church in America. Well, and yeah, so I know that there's a whole lot you can talk about patriotism, and just trust me, we're coming up with the 4th of July, and men, women, anyone who's watching or listening to this podcast, it is not something to be ashamed about. It's nothing to fear. Don't let someone get in your face and tell you that you can't act that way, that you're going to be canceled. Trust me, you stand up for your faith. You stand up for your country, God, your country, and your family in that order, and you will have a great, happy backbone life. And for my friend David Fortin out of what city do you live in, Connecticut?
I live in South Windsor.
South Windsor. For my friend David Fortin from South Windsor, Connecticut, thank you for joining me, and hopefully we'll do it again. And you have a good night. God bless you.
God bless America.
God bless America. Amen. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. We'll end with a St. Michael prayer.
Saint Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our protection against the wickedness and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do thou, O Prince of the heavenly host, by the power of God, cast into hell Satan and all the evil spirits who prowl about the world seeking the ruin of souls. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Pat King's Man Cave, a weekly podcast discussing the issues that affect Catholic men in today's culture. A product of Salt and Light Catholic Radio in Boise, Idaho. To learn more about our ministry, please visit our website at saltandlightradio.com.